wicked, wicked. Jungle is massive. Wicked, wicked. Jungle is massive. Wicked, wicked.
Lesson basically for R081, and this is now L04. So at the completion of these tasks, you will just need to submit this straight onto Teams. There is only one lesson for L04. Okay, so I'm going to give you the week to do it though, so it's not going to have to be done all in one lesson, but it will need to be in before the end of school for the summer term. Okay, so L04, let's talk about it. Now, the whole way through we've been talking about pre-production and what type of things we need for pre-production, whether it be a mood board, visualization diagram, storyboards, scripts, etc. We've been talking about that the whole way through, and we do it with all of our assignments as well. I don't know, I keep repeating myself, but we use all of this within our assignment-based stuff. So for L04, you need to be able to review basically pre-production, and reviewing is a big part as well. It's generally in assignment work, it's worth quite a lot of marks. It's, you know, it can be worth up to 19 marks in some cases, which is quite a lot. So to have a good review is always good. So for this module, you need to think about how you review pre-production and how you identify areas then for improvement within your work. So for your first activity or your starter activity, important skill is the ability to look at your own work and identify the strengths and the weaknesses of it. So from this, you will be able to think about ways to improve your work even further. So a brand new PowerPoint, call it R081 L04, and then put your name. Discuss the benefit of being able to review your own work without relying on somebody else to do it for you. So this is a piece of a written piece you're going to produce for the first task, basically outlining what you think the benefits are of reviewing your work. Why do you think you do it? Think of yourself as, say, a freelance designer working on your own to help you. So why is it important as a freelance designer working solo to review your own work? What's the point? Okay, so that is the first activity. Once you've done that, for the whole of R081, you've been talking about reviewing or looking at pre-production, but whatever you do must be in context for the end user. So everything you do must be in context for what the end user wants. So whoever's asked for it, if it's a magazine, is it a website, the end user, it needs to be in context for that. So appropriate for that, if we don't want to use context. So you need to look at the list of 5 different pre-production documents here. And on your next slide, I want you to make a list of possible users for those pre-production documents. So which type of end user would use those documents? So it could be magazine, and they would use mood board, mind map, visualization diagram. But a magazine article or cover or advert isn't going to use probably a storyboard or a script. So what would use those, and so on. So I want you to come together with a list of different things for that. So how you would always approach your review. You should always start by asking yourself a few questions. What is the pre-production document? That's the first one. Is it a mood board, or is it a visualization diagram? Sorry. They can look quite similar, but they are different. Obviously, mood boards are generated ideas, so they could be ideas of pictures, colors, fonts, text style, things like that, where a visualization is pretty much how you're going to set out your actual final product. Where's the pre-production document being used? Is it going to be for ideas? Is it for the client to see? Is it for a production team? Or is it possibly all the way through to an end user? Is it going to go all the way to the final person in the chain? Are your pre-production documents clear? Are they detailed? Are they annotated? Is it quite clear to everybody what needs to be where, or what needs to be said where or done at that time, or what camera angles, what music, what sound, what dialogue, etc.? And could you make the media product based on the content shown in your pre-production document, or would you still have questions? So that's how you should look at reviews. So you'd look at it and look at your mind map or your visualization, and would you be able to create that product just by looking at that, or would you still have some questions at the end of it? So next task, so next slide. What do the following terms mean? So do a little web search, books, or even a dictionary, and tell me what those 5 things mean. What is fitness for purpose? What is suitability? What is strengths? What is weaknesses? And what are annotations? Next task, or not next task, some more info. So content, is the pre-production document relevant to the intended product? What is its strengths, positive advantages and benefits? What are its weaknesses, negatives, disadvantages and drawbacks? Importantly, is it fit for purpose for the next stage of production? If not, why not? Use technical language and terminology where possible and relevant. That's always what you should think about when you're writing your review. So, look at these following phrases and discuss the spelling of the words to identify which are incorrect. So you need to read through those and tell me what's spelled wrong. So overall, for this lesson, you should be looking at how to review pre-production documents and how to identify areas for improvement in pre-production document. So without referring back, write a paragraph of text that describes in your own words how to review pre-production documents. Do not use a list. Do not bullet point it. Try to write in full sentences with good spelling and good grammar, please. Add that to your PowerPoint. Now, what I want you to do now, I want you to select a mood board, a visualization diagram,